Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. Let's get right into this, y'all. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it an 8. It was solid to me. It was solid to me. Okay, sorry. Today is Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. You know what? That was moving around so much. If I forget somebody, charge that to my head and not my heart. And that's what they say in church. Anyways, okay. So let's go with the teens. So the teens all the way around, and Cam goes over to because he sees Carly get a drink or whatever. So he's like, "Oh, I can get this DNA from her, right?" So he signals Spencer that he about to go. He was like, "Anybody want a drink?" No. Okay, cool. So he run over there and get a drink or whatever, and he tells Carly, they talk, and she asks about his mom, and he says, "You have lipstick on your lips," and she's like, "Oh my goodness, on your teeth." So she wipes off her teeth and everything, and then while he's doing that, Cam nods his head to let Spencer know. So then Spencer goes in for the kill, and he says, "That's rich," because they like, "What are you doing here?" First of all, Esme came in talking about one last hurrah before the trial of the century. Uncalled for. It was funny though. Uncalled for though, Esme. Uncalled for. That was funny. But anyways, um, so they telling Esme like, well, nobody wants you here. What you doing here? Go somewhere else. And Spencer's like, that's rich coming from PCU's porn queen or something. And Jocelyn said, what'd you say to me? And so Esme, she gotta repeat it because she loving this. So she repeats it or whatever, and she like, I heard him the first time, and so she throws Spencer into the water. And so then Esme throws Jocelyn into the water. Then Trina throws Esme into the water, and Carly is like, "What is going on over here?" They just throwing each other into the water and all this or whatever. And so then they get them out of the water, and Carly tells Esme and Spencer, "Get out of here. You're not welcome in the Metro Court ever again. Get out," or whatever. So they leave. And she tells Jocelyn, what's you can't do this. And Jocelyn was like, Mom, I'm sorry, but she keeps asking Carla, but there's something more going on. Why are you so stressed out, Mom? And she was like, if you want to help me, just go home and cool off and just chill out. And she was like, okay. Because they had talked to, I'm sorry, y'all, they had talked to Cam earlier, and this is when it was just Trina and Cam and Jocelyn. They had talked to him earlier, and he was just like, because they was like, why are you acting weird? But he was like, I'm not acting weird. Everything is fine. I just got a lot going on with my mom and everything. And Spencer had talked to Esme, and he didn't really want to go to the pool, but she said, yeah, or we could go to Manhattan and get a room and all that. He said, okay, let's go to the pool. Telling you I don't want her without telling you don't want her, Spencer. God, no. But that's how it ended with them guys, and then with as far as Jocelyn them go home, and they were like, where is Cam? Because all this happened, and Cam is MIA, but Cam is over there with Spencer getting the DNA or whatever. And he was like, this better have been worth it. He was like, I got the DNA from Carly, and Spencer said, I got the DNA, from Josh. He said, but this better be worth it with my best, ruining his relationship with Jocelyn because they've known each other a long time or whatever. So, but anyways, that's it with them guys. That was the teens today. Y'all know I like me some teens, their storyline, but that was it with them. So let's move right along. Okay, let me go and wrap this one up. So we see Stasha. We see Sasha is at Heart and what is it called? Heart and Home and Heart. So she's at Home and Heart, and they get with the woman, and they bring it. I said, you better drop Erica Kane's name. If you didn't love the soaps growing up and stuff, if you didn't love you some Erica Kane, like who didn't want to watch that? When remember she would get bit by a snake, and then Jackson would have to suck the venom out, and they would do the quicksand and all. Ooh, that's when soap operas used to go on location, and it used to be a great week. Like they would go on location. Something of course crazy would happen. Man, that was the back in the day. Those good old soaps back then. But anyways, we talking about Sasha, and Sasha is high as a kite. She is on one, and she done got the reporter in or whatever. And so they meet the woman. that they're that's the host of it. And so the reporter, I can't think of his name, he comes back there and he's like, can I get a picture with y'all? And Lucy was like, well, and Maxie was like, Sasha thinks it would be good for, business, like, to have all these photographs. And so he takes them, and then he told Lucy and Maxie, now can I get a photograph with the host and the star or whatever? And they like, I said, yes, he did. And then Sasha was like, okay, that's enough or whatever, because she knew what he did. And she was like, okay, that's enough or whatever. So then they leave. So they leave him or whatever, and they talk about the notes. And Sasha's doing really well, but she just needs a little pick me up. So she's going to get something to another pill, and Brendo pops up and she was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? He was like, you need a boost? She was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, I just wanted to support you or whatever. So I said, oh, she's not gonna take another one? Yes, she do. So I should go ahead and take another pill. And she sits down on that couch and the host is talking to her, and she freezes, and everything that could go wrong goes wrong. And so they're asking her questions. Sasha can't say anything. She looks out at Brando and he tells her, be calm, I love you. And then she says, I'm just so nervous. I can do all this other photo shoots and stuff, but speaking in front of millions of people is nervous. So I said, well, where is Miss Gladys? Like, where are you? You are stuck by this girl's side the whole time, and now when she really needs you, you know where to be found. But not to worry, because they said, let's go to our first caller, and it's Gladys, and she warms Sasha up. She gets her, talking about the products and everything, and Sasha turns into a star, and she kills it and everything. And then so everything is going great, right? And they say Flora is coming out, and they say, who approved this? This ain't part of our script. So Flora has the show after the one that Sasha is on, and she's coming out because she likes Deception's products as well. So she go out there, right? And they said, they got her next segment, and they said, well, what all does she do? And Maxie opened that box and saw it, and she said, uh-oh. And so she went over to Brando and Lucy. She said, I think we have a problem. It ain't no good telling them that's not the one on the screen, ma'am. So then Maxie, because they were concerned about how Sasha would react with Flora coming out, but she handled that like a pro. She was like, let's give you a little makeover. And Flora was like, okay. And so she does her makeup and stuff. She looks real cute. And then they said, how can I repay you? And then they open up Flora's box, and it is a papoose, like, I don't know, like, I guess put around the baby or something. And so that's what it is. And y'all know how sensitive Sasha is about babies. So you see Sasha just freezes or whatever. And that's it with them, y'all. So let's move right along to the Metro Court. Back to the Metro Court, because really everything was going down in that area. All right, so we see Dante. Okay, Britt is looking and she sees Dante, Rocco, and Cody. And they're doing a little spoon game where you put a spoon on your nose and all that. So they're doing that little game or whatever. And they chilling, they having a good time. And then Spinelli comes up to her and he tells her about society setups, and he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have success. You haven't had success. He's like, I'm on my third date and this is what she looks like and all this and that. And she was just like, I don't know, Spinelli. He was like, Zelda told me you haven't done anything else, with it. No, he said Maxie told me that they offered you, 6 months free. Have you done anything? And she like, no, I don't know. And so then Cody because okay, so they're over there. They're all in the same building in the Metro Court. So Cody is over there talking to them, and Olivia comes up, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you, and finally meet you. You got in so much trouble." They reminiscing and stuff, and then Olivia starts talking to Cody about they need a stable hand at the Quartermain stables. So he's like, hold that thought, because he see Brit and he want to go on over there. So he goes over there to Brit or whatever, and he was like, oh, I'm just unlucky in love and all this kind of stuff. And excuse me, sorry about that. And Spinelli is there. He's making Spinelli uncomfortable. And but anyways, Brit ends up leaving because they just go back and forth with each other, and she ends up leaving because she tells him Don't nobody want to be with you. You broke. You don't have nowhere to stay. And something. She said you broke. You don't have anywhere to stay. And you're uncouth. Don't nobody want to be with you. And so, anyways, she ends up leaving. And Spinelli said, he asked Spinelli, did you take care of everything? He said, yeah. And it's extortion what you're doing or whatever. And Spinelli is like, but he tells Spinelli it's not extortion, or it's only extortion if you're not guilty. So anyway, Sonny was over there talking with Dante and all them. Just a quick little talk. He asked Olivia what's going on with Carly because earlier he had been there and he asked Carly, is everything okay? Because remember, like yesterday ended with Olivia saying you need to ask Sonny for the money, but Carly doesn't want to. Olivia left to like leave them alone, and Carly wants. She's like, "You're not a part of my life. If it don't concern Donna, it don't concern you." So he go on about his business. So he sees Olivia and he asks Olivia what's going on with Carly. She says if she wants you to know, she'll tell you or whatever. Excuse me. And so then we see, so he was like, whatever. So he tells Rocco, I'm gonna do a rematch on you on the video games and all that. And he going about his business. So he go over there and he gets the last part of what's going on with Cody. And so Spinelli tells Cody who Sonny is, and Sonny was like, and then Cody tells Sonny, oh yeah, I grew up with Dante and yada yada yada. And so then Cody is like he hugs Spinelli because he said I gotta go. He says well played Spinelli, because he got him Cody to back down because Sonny came up. So then Sonny said, what kind of trouble you in with Cody Bell? And he said it's handled. You don't have to worry about it. He said, well, you dropped my name. My name, my name has a reputation. So if you dropping my name, something going on. So don't drop my name just to drop it or whatever. And Spinelli was like, yeah, oh, okay, cool. So he said, Spinelli, we're not going to have drinks now, because they were supposed to have some kind of meeting. He was like, we're not going to have drinks now until you decide you want to tell me what's going on. And Spinelli was like, it is what it is. So then, Sonny going up there, Nina. I said, well, I didn't know you was there. You told somebody earlier that you was there to see Nina. So y'all just threw this little scene in with Spinelli. Anyways, getting them all out the way. Cody goes back into the table and he tells Dante he is interested in that job at the stable. So they go ahead and hire him. And Britt is about to leave and she tells Spinelli that she did because Zelda called her and she tells Spinelli, yeah, I went ahead and did that with Zelda. I'm gonna give the matchmaking a try again. And so as she's leaving, Cody comes up and he says, I got a job and all that. And she was like, yeah, but you still don't have a place and you're still uncouth or whatever. I said, she don't want you. And I said, please tell him you don't want him, Britt. But y'all know, I think Cody knows that Spinelli set up this whole society set up and everything that he's running at. And I think I think that Spinelli and them are trying to force Britt into being on the society setup again so that she could get with Cody. And that's how he's repaying that's the extortion that he wants a date with Britt or whatever. I don't know. To be quite honest with you, Britt deserves better. I know I say this every time, but every time they show them together, I'm just like, girl, please continue to think you deserve better than him. We all know they're gonna get together, but dang, please, let's move on. All right, so then we go to because really that's all with them. So then they're still in the Metro Court. We see Brooklyn and Chase. So she tells Chase, you could be a singer. Because I'm not gonna hold y'all long on this. She was like, your career might be over, but I could write your songs. You could be a singer. She said, and then we could get Link to buy your contract. And then once you get inside and see how Link really works, we could get the PCPD involved or whatever. And she was like, yeah, and then we could get my songs back. And Chase said, excuse me? So that's what this is about. And she was like, no, I just thought of that. And he said, I didn't even think of that. He said, yeah, because it takes a cop to connect the dots. He was like, this isn't about helping me. This is about helping you. It's always about helping you. And so Chase mad at Brooklyn, and that's it. At this point, I wanted these two together, but she don't deserve him. I'm just gonna be right. Brooklyn, you don't deserve this man. You don't deserve him. and for a minute there, I thought when I saw Britt and he had just got mad at Brooklyn, I said, "Oh, uh, are they gonna try to do these two?" But whatever, she don't deserve him. Um, and that's all I have to say. Like Brooklyn, he had every right to be upset with you. You doing this? I thought you was doing it to help him. You doing this to help yourself. It's always about you. Let's move on. So then we see, hold on, because I wanted to say them for last. Let me make sure I got all these other little storylines all out of the way. Cham, Trina, Sasha, and all them. Brando, okay, okay. So then we see Nina goes to her office, right, and she's like, somebody's in her office. She said, "Oh, my sister didn't tell me," and she looks and sees this Drew, and she was like, "What you want?" He said, "I'm here to help you," and she told him, you told me exactly how you feel about me and all this and that. So how are you gonna help me? And he says, Nina, let's not make this personal. Let's not make this personal about Carly and Sonny or whatever. This is about business and all that." And she was like, "Well, what you want?" She told him, "Well, your stock ain't like Aurora's not doing that great. So how are you gonna help me?" And he said, "Aurora will bounce back, but I'm going to have to let Crimson go. I'm going to sell off Crimson. And when I do that, and she said, "Oh, you gonna sell it off?" Because he said it's gonna make it look good with the shareholders or whatever. He was like, "Yes," and he said, "So when I sell Crimson off, someone's gonna buy it." She said, "Well, whoever buys it, you let them know that I'm my own boss. Don't nobody run Nina." And he said, "Well, you could buy it yourself." And so she was like, "Huh." She was like, "This is too neat, nice, wrapped together, pulled together. What's the motive here? What's the ulterior motive?" And he was just like, "Hey, you could be your own boss." And so he hands her the documents. He said the lawyers already did it. He said you're gonna have to do it quick though if you want to do this. And so she looked at him. She's like, "I'm not buying it." So he lays the document, the selling paperwork and all that on the table and leave, right? Well, Olivia came up because she needed to speak to Nina, and she runs into Drew in the hallway. Now Nina's still in her office. Drew and Olivia are in the hallway. So she runs into Drew in the hallway, and she tells him, I about Carly and the hotel, and she says, "Do you have?" I told Carly I would buy her out, but I would have to get the money from Ned, and she would. He was like, "Oh, I'm sure she didn't go for that." And she was like, "No." She was like, "Do you?" He said, "I'm working on something that could help her." And she said, "You're not gonna tell me what it is." And he was like, "No, I really." I was like, "Why you being nasty nice to Nate? I mean to Olivia. She ain't do this to you. That was her husband." Olivia didn't know he was gonna vote that way, but I don't care. So then we see that while they talking, Nina opened that door and she hear them talking about Carly losing a Metro Court, because she was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. I would do if I lost the Metro Court." So, so Nina come out and she was like, "Olivia, we didn't have an appointment or anything." And she was like, "Well, I just came to tell you, not to CC Carly in on like the payments and all that. They to send them directly to me." Because she said, "I came to speak to your assistant." And she said, "No, what can I help you with? She's not here." And so then she tells her about, giving the payments to and any information or whatever invoices to her directly, Olivia directly, and not Carly. And so Nina's like, "Huh, yeah." And then she tells Drew, "You left your briefcase in here." And so now he want to talk. "Okay, Nina, let's talk." She was like, "No, Drew, all you had to do was tell me what was going on or whatever. Tell me why you really wanted to sell Crimson. It's because you want to get the money to help Carly out because she's going to lose Metro Court." And so he was like, "I didn't think if I came right out and told you that you would help." He said, "But that you would help her." He said, "But now that you know, would you help? Like, it would make her look good if she helped Carly or whatever." I said, "Carly don't want that girl help." And so then they leave, and Sonny comes in to the office, and she said, "Hey, Sonny," or whatever, and he was like, I don't remember what he was talking about. He just comes into the office to visit her, and he said, "Yeah, I just ran into Carly," and he was like, "Yeah," excuse me, Nina was like, "Yeah, she's done it now, hasn't she? She's got into a mess." And he was like, what you talking about, Nina? And so then Carly got her feet in the pool because she's stressed out to the max. And she got her feet in the pool and she tells Drew, come join me. And Drew said, I did something that you're not gonna like. And she was like, what? And that's it, guys. That was General Hospital today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If even if you don't subscribe, that's okay. I'll still be doing these videos. And I'll see you. Oh, okay, mama. And I will see you on another episode. Bye.